Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Uncle Taylor here with the MyTeam episode 2 going into Saudi Arabia. We had a little bit of luck in the last race that we had, Bahrain. A couple of silly errors did cost us inevitably in the end. But here we are now, kicking it off here in Saudi Arabia. Now, as Tiet Met My Duck and Arava might have shown, you've also got this new feature with the Pirelli Hot Lap, and you'll be able to do with the supercar that you're choosing or what they give you to do. In this case, we're driving around the McLaren, and it's an average speed zone test. I actually did not like this whatsoever. Really frustrating. It doesn't even feel like an actual race car, which obviously that's, I guess, what it's meant to be. And I struggled a little bit around this, actually. There you are, smacked straight into the wall. And I got to the point here where I just thought I would just get this over with, because I don't really want to continue to watch any more of these rounds. But we got the silver in McLaren 720S. Nice car, actually, at the end of the day. But I couldn't wait to get out of it and get straight into our beautiful car, our baby, of course. And so, this is my first run of Saudi Arabia, by the way. I had no warm-up. I watched Tiet Met My Duck. I've actually watched all of them, so give me a like. That'd be really nice of you to do that. I noticed with them, they did some warm-up laps, some time trials, and they also had the advantage of last year's game.
Let's get a few laps under our belt.
I had none. So for me, getting into this was incredibly daunting. I'm not going to lie to you, this was not the best episode I've done to date. But nonetheless, I do hope you enjoy this. And now I'm talking about it post-production. The colour we've got's really nice too. But the car handles like a dog washer, that's the other problem. But just sit back, watch how bad I can drive, and enjoy this, and I'll be back with you momentarily. Fix it up 5 seconds earlier. So, as you can see there, horrendous driving. And I thought, well, I'll just get out of this. I'm just going to jump straight back into it and just get on with our weekend. Ultimately, at the end of the day, this was not going to be a strong race for us because of the car. It's been a real tough start to this season. I'm not going to dispute that or lie to any degree. I thought I'd just get out of the way with the race pace and go straight into qualifying sim and just see how far off the pace we are probably going to be this weekend. It was a good start. In some moments there's a lot of grip, in other moments there's not. There goes the front right wing again. Here we start our descent into madness. And
Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off.
pushed
Wait
too
for
hard on a crappy front wing, and terminal damage. We're out of qualifying. We're out of free practice 1. So I went through the weekend and just simulated the majority of it, trying to get some boosts and some resource points towards the future. And we got some development boosts applied, which was really helpful here for us. And now we're rejoining back straight into qualifying 1. Now I'm doing the whole Arava technique, which I really enjoyed from last year and the years before, where we just have a one shot effectively, and if we have time to do a second one we do it, but I don't do multiple throughout the weekend, throughout the qualifying. So here we are joining up to our first run, and most likely going to be our last one, with 1 minute 13 to go. The tactic here is to not deploy as much ERS as I possibly can, hold off using it until now, getting into the main straight. As you can tell, I mucked up that corner. Could have done a little bit better there. Ran wide. And still held it going into the nice little hairpin we got coming up. And we're 900ths quicker than Lance Stroll, which is P18 at this point. So I'm feeling confident. Feeling real confident and cocky. A little bit cocky. Thinking, yeah, here we go. There's every chance here. Lightly grazed the wall. Grazed it, sorry. Hit the front wing off completely, which I thought, yeah, good on ya, you clown. So that's number 2 for the weekend. We need to nail this corner. And because of the front wing, shocking. Smack the barrier again, as Super GT would say, barrier. And we clock it in. I think it was a 1 minute 31.9. P15 across the line. So that means we just get into qualifying 2, which absolutely shocked me, the fact that we got in. I'm not even going to lie. Ricciardo just squeezed in. Grosjean Hughes, Vettel, Stroll, our team A Piastri, Albon and Latifi all knocked out of Q1. So here we are straight into Q2. 2 minutes 36 on the clock. Again, doing the typical 1 strategy. If we have time for 2, we'll do 2. But the ERS deployment's pretty much out once we get into the second lap. At least at the early stages here. Destroyed that corner. Smacked it slightly, no damage. And pushing way too hard. Corner cut. And yes, roast me in the comments. I'm not good. I can only try and get better with your love and support, of course.
leading the session. We need a good lap here or we're out of qualifying. Come on.
We're 0.3 up on Norris's best time, which is P12. So we're pushing ourselves really hard here. And I just loved as well how he said, we've got 2 minutes left at a minute 30. So that's pretty funny. And honestly, I felt like this was one of the better turns of the corner that I did. We're pushing as hard as we can. And we get a 1 minute 31.4. P9, provisional P9. And because we ran out of juice on the way through, we were knocked out well and truly. P14, we finished. Ricciardo, Magnussen, Gasly, all got knocked out as well. And I don't think I went down further because I'm just that good. But, alas, here comes the weekend. Take it over, Crofty.
So here we are then, welcoming you today to one of the jewels of the Arab world, Jeddah. One of the biggest cities in Saudi Arabia, second only to Riyadh, gateway to Mecca, and one of the biggest ports in the region. And now, host to the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Russell, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Ocon, and Mick Schumacher, Gasly, Magnussen, Daniel Ricciardo, Taylor, Tsunoda, Norris, Guan Yu Zhou, and Lance Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Latifi, and Sebastian Vettel starts from the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Thank you so much for your support there. So, P14, we're going to go with a slightly aggressive load of only having 1 lap of spare fuel effectively across the race. We're going to push these medium compound tyres up as long as we can. And I actually found a little glitch here. If you fail on the return to the grid, you can just skip it altogether. And as you're going to see here, I cooked it. If you remember my first one, I smacked into the back of my teammate. The second one, I did not park well whatsoever. So enjoy this.
Okay, not the best placement there, mate. Let's try and get a good launch as the race starts.
Yeah, we'll get a good launch. We'll just skip the formation lap. And then just get back into it. But here we go. 5 lights. And away we go. Good start coming out of here. Trying to get ahead of Magnussen. We push up. We squeeze past him only just. We make a little bit of contact with him. And we smack into Alonso. And we actually damage our front right wing ever so slightly. But P7, we made a remarkable push up here. Leclerc and Hamilton ahead, Alonso behind. We tried to think of a sneaky move upside of Hamilton, but we did not go ahead with it at the end of it all. Coming into my dreaded corner, Jesus, I hated this. This section right here was actually really tough. But for all intents and purposes, we are moving forward. P7. Exactly, we're in a very good spot. We made a hell of a lot of a good jump when we did go. Squeezing up the inside, but also costing damage to our wing.
Okay, be careful with the front wing. You've taken some minor damage. No tyre concerns at the moment. Just focus on the driving.
Even though it was slight, it still managed to do some kind of impact here with the speed. As you can see, Hamilton pushing away. We do have the worst ranked, one of the worst ranked engines in the game, and this is the post-patch gameplay, by the way. So this is not the pre one where it was a little bit eh. This is post-patch, and we seem to be slightly pulling backwards, going backwards, if you would, with Alonso starting to slowly but steadily chip away at our little advantage we had over him, getting right into the slipstream. You can see up there Leclerc and Russell having a little bit of a tussle. Ha, that rhymed. And we're just trying to do our race here, try and keep as steady as we can. We're losing a little bit of that grip, and as the tyres would eventually start to go, we are having some trouble. Even here right now, I'm really cooking these corners to the point where Alonso's really close and he could attack me at any time. But we somehow hold on to him as we skip forward a little bit here into lap 5. Ocon and Alonso are a couple seconds behind. Hamilton and Russell are a couple seconds ahead as well. So we are just this little middle ground here. Nothing going on. So the whole idea is to try and push it out to our first pit stop. Get the front wing replaced there. But just try and keep up with the pace. And at this point, I'm feeling really confident. We're doing okay. We're not getting poleaxed towards the back. We're holding our own. There's no damage to Ocon. There's no damage to Alonso. We're somehow starting to make pace. There was a little bit of challenging behind until we get into this wonderful corner. I push too hard, and there goes the front wing. There it goes. And to my surprise, a safety car was called, and I was too concerned on trying to fix the pit window until I realised, oh shit, and I gave myself a drive-through.
Okay, slow down. Your delta's negative, which means you're going too fast. Reduce your pace.
Gave myself a bloody drive-through penalty. You would never see it in all my years of playing Formula 1 games, and I've been playing these games for a very long time. And I can honestly sit here actually, and tell you, this is the very first time I ever got a drive-through penalty, and I was so disgusted in myself for getting a drive-through penalty. But it also gave us a unique-ish opportunity to get the front wing replaced. Magnussen and Ricciardo were pitting, and we got out just in the nick of time ahead of both of them on softs.
Like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
I was relieved that we got this done. I'm not happy that we had to pit early. It's my fault. But I can't believe that the front wing actually was my doing. Getting the safety car was my fault. But I'll shut up for just a quick minute, and I'll let you enjoy the broadcast version of the new safety car, the features of it. It's amazing for us. But we still have a drive-through to settle down once we go back to racing. And here we go, the AI is so kind.
Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature. Remember, there's no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
here we go. We thought, here we go, we're going to start off, but straight back into the pit lane to serve our drive-through penalty. Which at this point I was thinking, yeah, my race is just about over. This was never going to be a strong race anyway. Once we started the pit and fall back down the grid, I thought we were always not going to have a successful weekend. But alas,
Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy.
alas, we started the drive. We started to get right back into it. We're 11 seconds off Ricardo Magnussen. My idea in my head was hopefully thinking that the tyres would fall off.
On the MFD.
But then it suggested a new strategy stop. I thought, okay, that's a little bit funky. Couldn't tell you why it decided to do it, but it did, and it suggested that we stop a little bit earlier and make a couple stops. But then I realised at some point I nicked the front wing, and then I took the bastard completely off, and I went, yeah, I've had a gutful of this race already. It's only lap 11. It's been a shocking weekend, and I thought, well, I'm gonna have to pit again, get another fresh wing. Perez had a bit of an issue ahead that I couldn't get on camera, unfortunately. But he had to pit and make some stops. And I thought, well, lap 11. What on God's earth am I going to do? But as the wise men followed the holy star to the birth of Jesus Christ, as it says in the Bible, I was given my shining light. As I turned to this corner here, I had received the best news. Mick Schumacher was out of the session.
Okay, we've been informed of an incident which has resulted in lots of loose debris on the track. The safety car is being deployed.
And Mick Schumacher's had an absolute moment. Now the initial replay, this is all I was able to see, unfortunately. I wasn't able to see much more than that. But at the end of this video, I will show you what exactly happened.
This lap. Oscar is into the pit lane. Oscar in the pits.
And unfortunately what happened is our teammate had pitted also. But this gave us a very good little double stack maneuver that blocked the team behind us, which I believe was the Alpine, I think. I was too quick getting off that there.
There seems to have been a problem attaching the front wing. We need to try and put that behind us now and finish the race strong.
And here we are.
Alright, we'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left.
We're on the softs. We've got no other fresh tyres. Our engine components, half of them are worn. So we get to drive them. We get to step in. Going to catch up to the safety car queue. And again, at this point, I'm feeling confident. I feel like I could, with some skill, if I was lucky enough not to get back into the wall, I could zip through a lot of these here. A lot of these drivers, based on the quicker tyre. But as useless as I can be sometimes, I had a very good moment here. Look at this. Duh. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take it all off. So this is my third or fourth wing this weekend. And I'm so offended at myself that I can let myself get into this. When I hit the wall, I slowed right down so I didn't catch up to the safety car crew. Chucked on my old worn tyres that I just took off only 2 laps earlier. And just replaced the wing. Then they got replaced.
Fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. You'll be able to push sooner once these front tyres are up to speed.
And I thought I'll just slow down just a little bit, just to give me a little bit more leverage, I guess you could say, and just get my wing repaired.
No overtaking during the safety car period.
And I'm grateful I did. So it gave me a fresh opportunity. The tyres will be warmed up. The safety car is still around, still doing its thing. So there's every chance here that I might be able to do something successful and feel a little bit of relief. points finish is well and truly out at this point, but you just have some hope that the rest of the race would go smoothly. I'm really happy they've actually brought out this safety car broadcast feature too, by the way, because it just gives you a new element on video making content wise.
Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember there's no overtaking until the timing line. Safety car in this lap.
So here we go, me mucking around a little bit, cost me a lot of pace here on Sonoda, and they took off into the distance. But we got a full tank of power in the ERS, we got plenty of fuel.
Green flag.
Now coming up in a moment, I want you beautiful armchair FIA impersonators like myself. I would
Got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
love to get your opinion and tell me where I stand if I was in the wrong or if one of these other drivers were in the wrong. You'll see it momentarily and I'll point it out to you. But until then, at this point, we want to get around Stroll. He was starting to struggle a little bit. And I figured it's the best time to just throw myself. And I did run wide, almost actually spun out there.
Nice move. Good job.
And we're able to get pushed into P20, which is a far cry from where we started. Now, there was a yellow flag up here. And I thought, what could be wrong? What could be going on? And I saw there was a noticeable gap behind me and I realised Stroll's engine had blown. So Lancey, Stroll, Russell had the pit as well. We did a nice little dive here to get around, but Lance Stroll was out of the session with his engine blowing. So that pushes us up there to P17, almost to where we were. Yuki Tsunoda. I'm at an AlphaTauri sandwich here. I'm the only one in the middle, all running the same engine of course. And at this point I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident. I'm starting to get pace against these guys. I'm feeling like I'm going to be able to get around. As we did here with Gasly, we got around. Wasn't a strong exit, and Gasly was able to push back up, and obviously you respect the driver, but
There's a new strategy
he cut me off.
available on the MFD.
And I want you to tell me if I was in the wrong there with that one.
Understood. Copy that.
Because if I'm in the wrong, I will own it. I didn't feel like I was in the wrong. And let me assure you, there was a lot of swearing that went down in the making of this video here, and that's why I did post-production, because I was filthy. But inevitably, lap 20, Ricciardo here, I ran wide, knocked my whole front wing off, and I just said, I've had a gutful, I'm done. And I decided to send myself into the nether realm and just finish up, because I had a gutful at this point. That would have been wing number 5, I think. And I thought, just get me off this game. I'm going to blow a head gasket.
A sterling effort from the team and a magnificent drive to secure victory here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. What do you think it was today, Ants, that gave them the edge over the competition?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. It performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
And I just had a gutful and just got out of it there. But as you can see, Verstappen had won, which was wonderful. Here comes the crash as well, by the way, with Mick Schumacher again. This is the proper view of what happened. He just went way too hard. I got a closer view of it. I don't know what happened there with him. He just went absolutely full tilt, full metal, and just smashed into the side. Broke his front wing of Esteban Ocon. And ultimately, of course, no tyre. Had to retire. Haha, they rhymed again. And there I come. And here comes my little thing here. I just had a gutful. No one got affected, which was nice. But obviously that's as far as the race goes, and it stops here. So I thought I'd just bring it back a little bit again, just to cry myself to sleep slightly. But it was a disastrous race. A disastrous weekend for us. Only got a minimal money back for the weekend. 50 grand, of course. But still, definitely need to improve at some point. And as you can see here, we're now just filing out the things towards the next episode, which will be in my beautiful hometown, which the race I went to, and I will be including some photos and some videos I got, just in case people did want to see it. And again, I'm just grabbing inspiration from other creators, so I'm hoping this kind of gels out well. And the one thing I'm mainly surprised on, we've had no retirements due to faults in the car. Yes, I smacked myself into the barrier, but
our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
Which that was relieving to finally get some improvements done. Failing again. But I figured, well, we'll get this on there towards the next race that we're able to. So after Imola, we got the improvements done for the reliability side of things. And then we upgraded, I think, one of the departments here. From memory, I think it was the aero. I'm just watching this back live, of course, while I'm talking to his. Yeah, it was the aero. So, failure chance, bringing that bent down, because I'm sick of getting failures and let-ups like that. But, while the screen's going onwards here, we're over. But, here we are, guys, at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the support and love that you guys have shown so far on my channel, other videos that I've done. It does mean a hell of a lot. What I would love it if you guys could do is subscribe to me here on YouTube, go like the Facebook page, and let us know. Give me some comments, give me some feedback. This is the first time I've done like a post-edit video talking kind of thing properly and recorded it properly, so I'd love to get your advice and feedback. If you think this should be better suited. If people don't like it, unfortunately it's going to be like this for the next 2 episodes. But I'm looking forward to the future. But nonetheless, thank you very much. Have a lovely day or night, and I'll see you in the next video. See you guys.